All right, everyone, welcome back into my video. My name is Savel. This is How I See Tech. It's all love. So let's jump into this. We got the T-Rex versus the Velociraptor. We got the iPhone 17 Pro Max versus the iPhone 17. Let's talk about these two devices, do a little comparison. What a better fitting than having a T-Rex and a Velociraptor here. Kind of describes both these phones' capabilities and how one is big and powerful, one is more sleek, more pocketable, but still powerful. So let's dive into these two devices. But before we do that, let me just give a big shout out and a big thank you and it's all love to all of you who have liked, commented, and subscribed to my videos. I really appreciate it. Trying to build a community here. We're a small channel, just building up, getting started. Those likes, those comments, those subscriptions make all the difference right now in my videos. So if this is your first time watching and you like what I do, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how I got it right. Tell me how I got it wrong. Either way, as long as we're respectful in the comments, we can appreciate each other's opinion on how we see tech. So let's talk about these two beasts of phones. I'm going to move the T-Rex and the Velociraptor here. Just get them out of our way. All right. And we're going to focus on the two beasts of devices. So we've got our iPhone 17 Pro Max. This is a powerful, powerful device. I mean, it's just like a T-Rex. It's big, powerful, and bold. This is a more pocketable, small, sleek, powerful device. And honestly, between the two of them, I would say the iPhone 17 is going to fit most people's ideal for a phone. Anyone that's coming from an iPhone, I would say 14 or later, you probably are going to want to go with the 17, even like maybe an iPhone 15, but not the 16 so much, because I think the biggest difference is the Pro Retina display, which makes a huge difference on what you're visually seeing on your screen. It's a beautiful screen on this device here. Beautiful screen on both devices. Really, this iPhone 17 is about 90% of what the 17 Pro Max is, and it brings it all to the table in such a pocketable device. If you look at the size difference between the two devices, you're probably going to get a little bit of that airdrop animation when I put these two devices close. Maybe not, but you can see there. And you can see there. You can see the difference in their size. I've got pretty big hands, but they're both pretty comfortable for me to hold in the hand, but I know some don't. And I would say the iPhone 17 is perfect for those who don't have bigger hands, who have more smaller hands. For sure, I would go with the iPhone 17 if that's the case. Like I said, you're only losing one camera. You're getting a little bit bigger battery on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So they both give you great battery life. This is about maybe a day and a half, a little over a day and a half of use here. This is about 2 days of use. Really, they're just great devices. I'm not a huge iPhone guy myself, but I will say the experience with these two devices, I get it. I understand why people like iPhones. The only thing for me with iPhone is with Android, a Samsung is going to give you a little bit of different experience than a Pixel is. With iPhones, you're only getting a different experience from the hardware most of the time. You're not getting a different software experience. Android gives you a different software experience. They add their little touches to each device. Samsung versus Google, OnePlus versus Google, like they all add their own little elements to the device and to their operating system. So it's a little bit different with each Android device. With the iPhone, pretty much iOS is iOS is iOS. There's no major differences between. So if you are coming from an old iOS device, you will find that you don't really need to be on a learning curve or anything like that. It honestly is going to be the same kind of iOS. There are some different hardware features on these two devices that are an upgrade from, I believe it started with I'm pretty sure that the 17 is the first one to have the camera button. If it's not, I'll probably put a note somewhere in the video explaining that it doesn't. The 16 actually had it, but I believe that the 17 was the first one with the camera button. And that's this shutter button. It's on the other side of the device. It's right there. So this button has kind of been a little bit controversial. Some people like it, some people don't like it because of the positioning. Really, it didn't bother me either way. I get to use it, just to be honest, and that's probably why it didn't make a difference to me. But some people don't find it very useful. And what you can do is you can zoom in and out by sliding across this button. And then I believe you can quick launch your camera if you just give it a quick press. Let me see if I can get it to do it. Yeah, there we go. So it opens up your camera right off the bat there. And yeah, you can zoom in, like I said. So let me see if I can get it to do a quick zoom with it. I don't know if I have the controls completely turned on. I don't think I do. Let's see here. Show off the zoom a little bit with it. Let me see if it'll do it. No, it's not doing it. Of course, it's not doing it while I'm trying to film and trying to show somebody how to do it. But yeah, it definitely, you can add those controls on there. So you can make this act as a slider and zoom in, and both devices have it. So the iPhone 17 also has it. You're not gonna lose that feature by going to the 17. Like I said, you lose just that camera, and it's that telephoto lens. I don't know. It's really up to you if you're a person that does like a lot of zooming in. If you do, I personally go out and check out bears in a forest area that's near my home, and I do a lot of zooming in. So I need like a little bit higher zoom. This only has a 48 megapixel and it doesn't have like a super zoom. I think it only does like a 50 times zoom. And that's the digital zoom. And then it does a 8 times optical zoom. And that's on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So for me, I do need an Android phone that can zoom in a little closer. Because I don't want to be close to a bear, obviously. I want to make sure I have some distance from the bear when I'm actually filming them. So it's something that I like to do. So for me, these two devices, while they are great, they are not the device for me personally. But do I recommend them to those that are in the iOS ecosystem already? Absolutely. And you can save a difference of $400 between these two devices. This is $800. This one's $1,200. In my opinion, there's not $400 difference between these phones. There really isn't. Your experience is going to be very close to the same on the iPhone 17 as it would be on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, like I said, unless you're looking for that super zoom camera or you're looking for something that just packs a punch and everything. Let's take a couple real-time photos here, kind of show off the cameras, and then we'll get into some more camera footage. Let me find the camera. Take a quick photo of Ian Malcolm's cereal. Okay. See how that looks in real time. Zoom in a little bit. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave that up, face up. Come in here right here. Another photo. Cereal. Ian Malcolm. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. I have noticed a pattern of the iPhone 17 tends to brighten up the photo just a little bit more than the 17 Pro. I'm sorry, the iPhone 17 Pro Max tends to brighten up the photo a little more than the iPhone 17. So if you take a look, the skin tone on Ian Malcolm here is a little bit different. And it's because for some reason on this iPhone 17 Pro Max with the cameras, I think it's something to do with the lenses that we're getting a little bit brighter photo. This is actually more what my eyes are seeing. This is great. It still has a lot of details on the 17 Pro Max, but it is a little brighter than what is actually in front of my face and what's actually coming through on the camera. So you can see those photos there. Let me grab Mr. T-Rex again. Take a real-time photo of him. All right, get a real-time photo here. Look at that. All right. There we go. Real-time photo. T-Rex. All right. Let's see what we got here. So if you look again, yeah. So you can see it again there. How the colors are a little bit brighter, the light showing up a little bit more. Yeah, and I would say the iPhone 17 is more real to life of what I'm seeing. But yeah, for sure. I think they both take quality pictures, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with either one of them if you were to go with either one. Let's take a look at some more photos that I took. Let's dive in. All right, who do we think won that camera comparison? I personally think it's a little too close to call. That's what I mean. These two devices are very similar to be $400 difference. I really think the Velociraptor is very close to the T-Rex right now. And I think the iPhone 17 is super close to iPhone 17 Pro Max. You can see it in the photo quality. Leave your comments below. Let me know who you think won that. But let's show some other features that are so similar and so close. Kind of makes it a little hard to spend the extra $400. So I talked about this earlier. The camera button here, both devices have it, right? So if you come around to the front of the device, I also talked about both these devices have that 120 hertz AMOLED display that's super retina display. So it's their extra sharp display put on both of these. Yes, because this is the larger device, it's a little more pixel dense, but overall, the displays look very similar to each other also. So let's dive into the dynamic island up here. Come up here, go to one of my videos. Is OnePlus going extinct? That's my latest video. Check that out if you haven't already. So when you get here, when our video loads up, we can show it. Is it loading up here? Okay. Pardon my Wi-Fi. So my video's trying to load up. Let's see if we can get it to load up over here and we can show up the, okay, there we go. Welcome back to my channel. Turn down the volume real quick. Okay, so we're gonna swipe up and watch what happens to the video. It went right up in that dynamic island now, okay? You see it there? Then you can tap, video, not now, continues to play. One more time. Swipes right up into the dynamic island. You can see it playing there. Tap. You can open it like this. You can open the video right back all the way. Now, that's a feature, the dynamic island itself, that's on iPhone 17. So we're going to get into here. Type in our top secret code. Open up the same video. Is OnePlus going extinct? All right. Right here. Now, we're going to swipe up the same way. See how it went up there the same way with the dynamic island? Tap, just briefly open it full screen, right? That's one set of features that is similar, right? Looking at these lock screens, not a huge difference the way they both project. It's just how it's built into iOS. And now with the 17 having the dynamic island, because the 16 I don't believe had it, either the 16 or maybe it was the 16 that first got the dynamic island, but it narrows the field between these two phones. It really does. You're looking at mostly hardware features that are the difference, and the hardware features that are the difference between these two phones are that telephoto lens and a little bit bigger battery. So let's look at some other similarities because they're both running iOS 26. Let me unlock this again. All right, go home. Once again, to the animation where the dynamic island is sitting up there and talking in the background. If I turn up the volume, you can hear the video still playing. See, there we go. All right, same thing's happening over here. But let me show you some customization with iOS 26. Put it into jiggle mode, go up top here, go to edit. All right, customize. You can change the theme of your icons. We can make it an all dark theme. Let's come over here and do the same thing. All right. See it still playing in the background up there on the dynamic island. Go into jiggle mode. Hit edit. One more time. Let me see if I can get it. I keep missing the button. There we go. Trying to do this from behind the camera. All right. Now I want to change it to a clear theme. Look at that. Look how you can theme on both these devices. Now this is software built into both devices. So in that case, the software is not any different. So you're not gaining any extra software features here. Once again, it comes down to hardware. On the video on these two devices, the only advantage and the only difference is This can film at 4K at 120 frames per second. This one can only film at 4K at 60 frames per second. 60 frames per second looks fantastic. You don't need 120 frames per second. The iPhone already produces great video. That's one of the things it's known for, is producing great video. So really, you don't need that extra, 60 frames per second that you're gonna get. Still not worth 400 bucks. That's why I gotta say today, our champion and our winner out of this battle is gonna be the iPhone 17. The Velociraptor beats the T-Rex today. The iPhone 17 beats the iPhone 17 Pro Max out. For most people, I think this is where you can invest your money. You can spend your money and save that extra 400 bucks. You might find that you can spend that on a watch, some headphones, a tablet, something else to expand your iOS library. I tell you this right now, there is not enough difference. It's just not there. There's not enough difference to where you should justify spending 1,200 bucks. If you're just looking to get into the iOS ecosystem, if you're just looking to upgrade your device, a lot of the things are going to carry over. So there's no reason to spend an extra 400 bucks. I know right now, everything costs a lot. So you definitely don't want to be spending an extra 400 bucks you don't need to spend when you can get more devices. Not to say that the iPhone 17 Pro Max isn't a great device. It is. It's just more in the category for someone with the extra funds to spend, someone who's looking to get a little bit more in their device when it comes to camera, and maybe they're looking for a bigger device. If you can get these on a carrier deal, do it. If you can make payments on them and just pay over time, and that's how you find the way to do it, then yeah, maybe you want to go with the 17 Pro Max. But for most people, I'm going to say it's going to be our champ today, the iPhone 17. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for listening how I see these two devices and how I see tech. Please, this is your first time watching and you like what I do, like, comment, and subscribe. Please be nice in the comments. Tell me how I got it right. Tell me how I got it wrong. As always, my name is Savel. This is How I See Tech. It's all love.